Hello! So it's been over a year since I did my first video, which was pricking out tomatoes. They were a lot smaller than these ones were. But yeah, so I thought I'd have just a refresh and a recap. These ones I'm doing a little bit later. The weather has just been crazy. We've got like nearly a 20-degree difference between the nighttime temperatures and the daytime temperatures, and we're still getting some morning frosts. So yeah, I've left these ones a little bit long, but I went away last weekend and I didn't want them to dry out, so I popped a propagator. Don't worry, it was for a training course. It wasn't just, within restrictions, it's all good. So yeah, I popped a propagator on these so I didn't let them dry out, and they got very warm and had plenty of sunlight, so they got very leggy. They've only just started getting their... Oh, sorry, blackbird just flown into the garden. So they only just started getting their true leaves, so the seed leaves were still on the seedlings at 3 inches tall. Now they started getting their true leaves through, I'm going to pop them on. So we've got 3 different types of tomatoes, and I'm also trying something different this year called a tomatillo, and that's kind of like a cross between a Chinese lantern and a tomato. I'm looking forward to seeing what that comes out like. So yeah, I'm going to plant these deeper in the pot, so you can plant them up to about 5 mil below the first set of leaves into a pot. All these little hairs that are on the side here, they can change into roots, and I often find that if you leave your tomatoes to go a little bit leggy and then plant them deeper in, because they end up with a bigger root structure, they actually do better. So I don't know how you guys have found it, but that's what I've found. Or even when you come to plant them out in their final place, if you take a few of the... Sorry, there's a tomato here that's still got its seed stuck on the end of its leaves, and I'm being naughty and trying to pull it off. It's just too tempting. But yeah, so I've actually found when you come to plant them out in their final place, if you take the first few leaves off the bottom and lay the stem into the soil and then get them to come up, all of that stem that you've laid into the soil or the compost will actually shoot roots out as well, so it gives it a better uptake of water. Yeah, so I'm gonna pot up the Sweet Million. We've got Black Russian and Orange Queen. So Sweet Million is like a very small cherry tomato, and with its name sake it says sweet and you get millions of them, so that's quite nice. The Black Russian is also a cherry tomato, and that has more of a purpley sort of black coloured skin. The Orange Queen is a little bit more like a salad tomato, and again with its name being orange, and like I say, the tomatillo is sort of a Chinese lantern crossed with a tomato, so actually the inside is green and then you've got this lovely papery case on the outside. So yeah, I'll get on with potting. I've got my trusty little dibber stick and got some multi-purpose compost, pots, trays to put them in afterwards to keep the water in. So yeah, I'm going to fill one of my pots up and then I'll show you how to prick out again. Give the little tap on the table with the compost, it just helps to let it settle out inside. I'm going to use my dibber stick and pop it down into the soil beside the tomato. Hold one seed leaf down and then lift up like that. There's some lovely little roots on there, but I'm going to plant this into the pot about that deep so that we get all of these hairs will then become more roots. So I just move that out of the way. Use my pot again, use my dibber stick. Make a nice hole in the compost. Now my compost is quite damp, so I'm not going to worry too much about watering them straight away. There we go, nice little hole in the middle. Pop that in. You can, multitude of uses with a dibber stick. Help to just guide the tomato into the hole, like that. Move the compost around the edge. Now it's quite low in the pot, so I'm just going to add a little bit more. There we go. Give it another little tap. And that's the tomato planted up. And that one is one of the sweet millions. And like I say, compost is quite damp, so I'm not going to worry about watering it until this evening. Yeah, so there we go, guys. That's a little refresh and on how to put up your tomatoes. I hope you're all well and still smiling. And once I'm done, I will be washing my hands because it's gooey when working with wet compost, and I've also found if I'm working with a lot of wet compost, I get really dry hands. So moisturiser is a gardener's best friend. Right, see you all soon.